What if the biggest thing holding you back is not talent, not opportunity, but the small promises you break with yourself every single day? Think about it for a moment. How many times have you decided to wake up early, to start tomorrow, to become more focused, more consistent, more disciplined? And yet somehow life pulls you back into old habits. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people think discipline means punishment, restriction, or forcing yourself to suffer. But in Japanese philosophy, discipline is something quieter, more patient, more human. It is not about becoming harder. It is about becoming steadier. This is a story about change, about a person who believed motivation would save him until he discovered that discipline, practiced gently and daily, transforms life in ways motivation never can. And along this journey, we will explore 5 Japanese concepts that have shaped generations of disciplined thinkers, craftsmen, and leaders. 1. Kaizen, the power of small improvement. Ryo was not lazy. He simply waited for the right moment. He waited for the perfect Monday, the perfect plan, the perfect mood. But weeks turned into months, and nothing truly changed. One evening, exhausted from another unproductive day, he visited his grandfather. The old man had spent 40 years as a craftsman, building wooden furniture with quiet precision. Ryo asked, "How did you stay disciplined for so many years?" His grandfather smiled and said only one word: Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement through small steps. Not big changes, not dramatic transformations, just small, consistent progress. The grandfather explained, if you improve only 1% every day, in 1 year you become a different person. Discipline is not intensity, it is continuity. Ryo realized his mistake. He was trying to change everything at once, waking early, exercising hard, working long hours. He failed because the change was too heavy. So he began small. 10 minutes of focused work, 1 page of reading, 1 promise kept each day. At first, it felt insignificant. But after weeks, something unexpected happened. The effort became easier. The resistance became smaller. Kaizen teaches that discipline grows quietly. Like bamboo, it strengthens underground before anyone sees it rise. A famous Japanese saying reflects this idea. Chiri emo tsumariba yama teneru. Even dust, when piled up, becomes a mountain. 2. Ikigai, a reason to wake up. But discipline without meaning eventually fades. After a few months, Ryo noticed something. He was more consistent, yet he still felt empty. He was doing things correctly, but without direction. That was when he discovered another Japanese concept, Ikigai. Ikigai means a reason for being. The intersection between what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what gives your life value. His grandfather told him, discipline becomes natural when your actions serve a purpose larger than comfort. Ryo began asking himself difficult questions. Why do I want to improve? Who benefits if I become better? What kind of person do I want to become in 10 years? Slowly, his discipline stopped feeling like pressure. It became responsibility to his future self, to his family, to the work he wanted to create. When purpose becomes clear, discipline stops being a struggle. You no longer push yourself forward, you are pulled forward. In Okinawa, where many people live long and active lives, elders often say that having Ikigai gives energy even in old age. It gives a reason to continue, even on difficult days. Because discipline without purpose feels heavy. Discipline with purpose feels meaningful. 3. Shokunin, the craftsman's mindset. Months passed. Ryo's habits improved, but he still compared himself to others. He felt frustrated when progress seemed slow. One day, his grandfather took him to a small workshop. Inside, an old craftsman was polishing a single wooden bowl. He had been working on it for hours. Ryo whispered, "Why so much effort for something so small?" The craftsman replied gently, "Because my work represents who I am." This is the spirit of Shokunin, the craftsman's mindset. In Japanese culture, A shokunin does not work only for money or recognition. The work itself is a path of self-improvement. Discipline becomes an expression of pride and responsibility. The goal is not perfection. The goal is sincerity in effort. Ryo realized he had been chasing results, faster success, visible progress, approval from others. But discipline grows when attention shifts from outcome to process. When you focus on doing today's work well, tomorrow improves automatically. A well-known idea in Japan says, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has tried." Discipline is not about never failing. It is about returning to the work again and again with patience. 4. Gambaru, enduring with determination. Life, however, does not become easy just because discipline improves. Ryo faced setbacks, a failed project, financial stress, days when motivation disappeared completely. This is where another Japanese principle appears, Gambaru. Gambaru means to persist, to endure, to keep doing your best even when things are difficult. After natural disasters in Japan, this word is often heard everywhere. People encourage one another by saying, "Ganbat, keep going, do your best." But Gambaru is not about reckless struggle. It is about steady endurance, showing up even when progress feels invisible. Ryo learned that discipline is tested most when emotions are low. Anyone can work when they feel inspired. Discipline means continuing when inspiration is gone. He began telling himself, "Today, I don't need to be perfect. I only need to continue." And strangely, those small acts of continuation built confidence stronger than success ever had. Because every time you continue despite difficulty, you prove something to yourself, that you can be trusted. 5. Zanshin, the awareness that never sleeps. Years later, Ryo's life looked different. Not dramatic, not extraordinary, but stable, calm, and purposeful. Yet his grandfather gave him one final lesson, Zanshin. Zanshin is a concept from martial arts. It means remaining aware and present even after the action is complete. The mind stays alert, humble, and ready. Many people become disciplined for a short time, then relax and fall back into old habits. Zanshin reminds us that discipline is not a destination. It is a lifelong awareness. After success, remain careful. After improvement, remain humble. After progress, continue practicing. Ryo understood that discipline is not something you achieve once. It is something you maintain through awareness. Each day is simply another opportunity to begin again. Closing reflection. So let me ask you the same question again. What if the life you want is not waiting for a burst of motivation, but for small, disciplined actions repeated quietly every day? Kaizen teaches us to start small. Ikigai gives us a reason to continue. Shokunin reminds us to respect the process. Gambara teaches endurance through difficulty. And Zanshin keeps us aware so we never stop growing. Discipline, in the Japanese sense, is not harsh. It is gentle consistency. It is choosing long-term peace over short-term comfort. And perhaps the most powerful truth is this: you do not become disciplined overnight. You become disciplined the moment you decide to return again and again to the person you want to be. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, ask yourself only one thing. What is the smallest disciplined action I can take today? Because mountains are not built in a day. They are built quietly, one grain at a time.